What up and welcome to Beneath the Dirt. We are back with yet another tier list. This time we are doing the King of Darkness himself, N9ne. That's right. Hit that like, subscribe button, hit that bell notification. If there's any other tier list that you want to see me do on this channel, drop a comment below. Let me know. Let's stop wasting any more time. Let's get right into it. This time, you know, unlike some other the tier lists that I did, we didn't do it in order. But for N9ne, we're going to do it in order, starting with Calm Before the Storm. I love me some pre-strange N9ne. Can't front. I think Calm Before the Storm is dope. I'm going to put that at B tier right off rip. Not as strong as some other albums, but I bumped damn near the whole album. I mean, Mitchell Bate is on there. Like, classic shit. Questions is on there. Love me some Calm Before the Storm from N9ne. The Worst. You got The Worst and then The Worst 2K edition. I'm going to put this A tier. Man, I always thought to myself, or I used to think that I liked Calm Before the Storm more than The Worst, but last year I had a kick of old school N9ne, and then once I got to The Worst, man, I bumped The Worst for like just 2-3 weeks straight. Nothing but that album. Bangers on The Worst. I love that. The production on that album kind of got that old school, you know, mid to late 90s West Coast kind of vibe. So dope. Some hard hitting shit on that album for sure. Love me some The Worst. You know, Don Juan did production on there. Dope. N9ne Angelic, the OG edition on J-Core. I'm gonna put Angelic A tier as well. I know that's gonna be controversial, and I'm gonna put Reparation A tier too, but I'm gonna put it above the OG edition. I like Reparation Angelic better than the OG. You know, you got Devil Boy, Breathe, all those songs that were added to the album. I know some were taken off the OG, but the ones that they added to the Reparation version of Angelic were just so fire. Love that shit. I know that's going to be a controversial take right there, but Angelic A tier for me, because there are a couple skips on that album. And then we got Celcius, the album that was released without his permission. Or no, without... It was like a week before Absolute Power came out. You know, he did give permission to put the album out, but whole story behind that. Check the T9X documentary if you want to fucking know more. Probably on YouTube. Anyway, Celcius. I'm going to put that C tier. There's a couple dope tracks on there, but overall, it's just leftover shit that he did with Midwest Side Records. C tier. I think Celcius belongs in C tier. Absolute Power. I'm going to put Absolute Power S tier. That is a fucking amazing album. I love me some Absolute Power. He took what he was doing with Angelic and just made it bigger and better for Absolute Power. It's just, I'ma Tell, Slacker, I'm a Player. Just so many dope tracks on that fucking album, man. T9X, like, come on. Love me some Absolute Power. Definitely S tier. I put Vintage Tech on here, even though it's kind of like a compilation of songs. It did feature a couple unreleased songs. I'm going to put this B tier. I'll put it behind Calm Before the Storm, just because it had stuff from, you know, Calm Before the Storm and The Worst, you know, stuff that he did with Midwest Side. But there was some unreleased or different variations of songs on there. Dope compilation. I know there's got to be more songs in the vault. I would love to see a Vintage Tech 2. I know they talked about it a long time ago about coming out, but I'd like to see that eventually happen. And then Everready, The Religion. I'm putting this S tier, and I am putting it above Absolute Power, man. This album, this was the first album that came out after I had become a fan of N9ne. The hype was real. The wait for it felt like an eternity, and it did not let down. Riot Maker, The shit he did with Twista, Welcome to My World, Beast. So many bangers on there. Love me some Everready. Definitely top S tier shit right there from N9ne. And then he followed that up with his first collabs album, Misery Loves Company, MLK. My personal favorite N9ne album. I know it's a collabs album, but this is my personal favorite album from N9ne. Front to back banger, no skips. Every song is hard as fuck. Love Misery Loves Company. It is so dope. Man, it's like prime strange music for me too, man. Love that shit. And then we got Killer. Killer was the first time I was kind of like, about N9ne, but I'm going to put it B tier. And I'll put it above Calm Before the Storm. It's a double disc. I think it would have been better if they just chopped it down to one disc. Paint a Dark Picture with the Dirtball is like top tier N9ne for me. I love that song. Black Boy with Scarface is fucking fire. Just so many dope songs on there. I just wish they had condensed it to a single album versus doing a double disc for it. N9ne collabos, Sickology 101. That's right there with Killer, but better. I'll put it B tier. I don't revisit it that often, but there's dope ass songs on there. Midwest Choppers, Crazy Bone on that bitch. God damn. Love that shit. Sickology 101. And this was kind of the prelude to the next album, KOD, King of Darkness. I wasn't really feeling King of Darkness when it first came out, truth be told, but as time has gone on, it's kind of grown on me, kind of like with Twisted's Wicked. Wasn't feeling it at first, but over time, it just got better. KOD, I'll put it A tier, but I'm not putting it above The Worst or Angelic. Really strong songs on there. I mean, Demons with 3-6 Mafia. I wish we could have gotten more 3-6 and N9ne collaborations. Would have loved to see that happen, but yeah. I think KOD is definitely an A tier album. Probably another controversial pick. A lot of people say S tier, but hey, it's my list. Do your own list. And there is a link in the description to do the N9ne tier list on your own if you would like. So go peep that as well. And then we got the lost scripts of KOD, songs that didn't make the cut for KOD. I'll be honest. I'll put it D tier. It might be dope. I probably listened to it once or twice and just never revisited it. So for that reason, I'll just put it in D tier. Gates Mixed Plate, the third N9ne collabos album. I'll put that C tier. I'll put it above Celcius. There's some dope tracks on there. Dark Knight, KCT. But maybe cut some songs off there or something. I don't know. Maybe the songs just weren't strong enough. I'll put a C tier. The Seepage EP. Now, I don't know if this was songs that didn't make KOD or beats that he had for KOD and later made more songs with those KOD beats. Love me some Seepage. I think Seepage is right up there with KOD, man. Probably my favorite N9ne EP as well. Seepage belongs in A tier, in my opinion. Does it? Because it's an EP? You know, I see it up there next to Angelic and The Worst. I'll keep it A tier. Fuck it. I'll keep it A tier. Seepage is a dope EP. It's like 6 tracks, but it's dope. And then we got the Mad Season mixtape hosted by DJ Hookid. This was like almost didn't happen, and then it eventually happened. I'll put this B tier. I'll put it above Killer, but I'm not putting it above Sickology 101. There's some dope shit on there. He's rocking over some jacked beats on there, 1 or 2, and then some original production. I fucks with some Mad Season, you know, every once in a while. Go back and revisit it. I like it. I fucks with it. All 6s is 7s, man. This is top tier N9ne. my probably my favorite solo Tech9 album. Like I said earlier, Misery Loves Company is my all-time favorite Tech album, even though it's a collabos album. But all 6s and 7s, man, front to back, that collaboration he had with Deftones on there. The joint that he had with B.O.B. and Hobson was fire. Just Kendrick was on the album. Like, I think, was Lil Wayne on this album? Was he on all 6s and 7s? I think he was. Just a fucking dope album, man. Worldwide Choppers. Come on. All 6s and 7s is a fucking amazing Tech9 album. Tech9 collabos, Strangeland. Where am I going to put this? It's not C tier. I think I might actually put this high B tier, and I put it above Sickology 101. I think I bumped Welcome to Strangeland more than Sickology 101. The songs with Mayday on Welcome to Strangeland, I can't think of the names off the top of my head, are like just top tier Tech9 shit. I love it. Go back and bump that shit fairly often. I think that's a good spot for it. High B tier. Welcome to Strangeland. Klusterfuk. I think based off the reaction that he got for those Mayday collaborations off of Welcome to Strangeland, he said, fuck it, we'll do a whole EP together. I think it's okay. I don't think it belongs in D tier. I'll put it in C tier. I'll put it above Celcius. Yeah, I mean, there's really not much to say about it. It's different. You know, you got Mayday producing it versus when, you know, in the middle of the era of Seven, when Seven was mostly doing his shit. I think it's a dope listen. Doesn't belong in D tier. Ebah is kind of the same, in the same vein as Klusterfuk. Evil Brain, Angel Heart. I'll put that C tier as well, and I'll put it above Celcius. Yeah, I think that, you know, Evil Brain, Angel Heart is a fucking fire Tech9 song. Boiling Point, kind of the same as the Lost Scripts of KOD. I probably listened to it once or twice, and I just don't remember. So it can't be that memorable. I'm going to put it D tier. I think it belongs D tier just because if it was more memorable, if I could remember anything about it, it would be higher than that. Something Else. Man, Something Else. It had the collaboration with Surge from System of a Down. Fucking, I think CeeLo was on this album. T-Pain. Something Else is a fire album. And I think it belongs, I'm going to put it A tier. I'll put it above Seepage. Fuck that. I'll put it above KOD. I love me some Something Else, man. That is a dope album from Tech9. For sure. Therapy EP produced by Ross Robinson. Ross Robinson, Limp Bizkit, a whole bunch of motherfuckers in the late 90s. Nu metal producer. Again, with the Lost Scripts and Boiling Point. Not memorable. Maybe, you know, I got to revisit it at some point, but not memorable. D tier project for me. Strangeulation 1, another album, man. Just wasn't that strong of a project. Tech9 collabos, this is when it was like, all right, he's putting out a lot of fucking music just back to back to back to back to back, and the quality of it was declining. It's okay to put out a shitload of music if the quality at least stays the same or gets better, but the quality kind of dipped with Strangeulation, and I think that's because he was putting his all into special effects. I'm going to put special effects high B tier. That shit with T.I. on special effects is one of the hardest Tech9 songs ever. He had Corey Taylor from Slipknot on this motherfucker. I think Hobson was on this album as well. Couple skips, but special effects is a dope album. And I think it definitely belongs high B tier. I like it better than Welcome to Strangeland and Sickology. I bumped it a lot when it first came out, but because there are a couple skips, and also because there are such strong songs on there, high B tier. Strangeulation 2, I'll put that D tier as well. I understand with these Strangeulation albums, he was really trying to showcase the strange music roster. At that time, the quality was dipping. Same with The Storm, Dominion, Strange Rain, Planet, like just everything. All those albums, he was just putting them out so fast, so much music in such a short period of time, and the quality just was not there. I don't remember anything off The Storm. Definitely don't remember anything off Dominion, Strange Rain, or Planet. Just not memorable albums. It was too much in too little of a time, where instead he should have focused on putting out less music with more of, quality over quantity. We'll say that. But 2020 came around. He dropped N9ne. And N9ne, for me, is a S tier N9ne album. And I think, man, would I put it above Absolute Power? I think I would, because I think there's one or two songs I skip on Absolute Power, but because it was released at such a classic time and those other songs on there are just so damn good. And N9ne, I don't skip a damn song on N9ne. It was like the best comeback for N9ne was N9ne. I fucking love that album. If you ain't checked it out, or if you don't remember it, I highly recommend go back. There's a lot of throwback vibes on that album. It's so dope. Love N9ne. But then he followed it up with Interfere, and it was like another album that was just D tier quality. Same with More Fear, Fear Exodus, Blight. It was just like we were rushing to put a shitload of music out for some reason again, and the quality kind of dipped again. But then he put out Asinine. N9ne, man, he can go, the roller coaster ride you go with N9ne albums is fucking nuts. Asinine is up there with Special Effects for me. Is a fucking dope album, and I'll probably put it above Special Effects because there's probably less songs I skip. I mean, Special Effects I skip 2, maybe 3 songs, whereas Asinine, I think there's only 1 song on that album that I skip. We saw the return of Nnutthowze, 66 AAA 4699.3 on Asinine. Fucking dope album. Love that shit, man. And maybe with time, it'll creep its way up into the A tier. But for now, high B tier for Shirley. And then Bliss. He followed up with Bliss. The thing with Bliss for me was there's a lot of dope songs on Bliss, but it was a very long album. I think N9ne needs to get into the trend of less is more. There were so many fucking songs on Bliss, like 23, 24, something like that. But there were some strong songs on there. And because of that, I'll put it C tier. I'll put it above Celcius, but I can't put it above anything else. Only because I haven't bumped it that much. But there are some dope songs on Bliss. We just need, sometimes less is more. And I hope Tech learns that at some point. Then we got, speaking of Nnutthowze, the siqnaling, the siqly EP. Man, great way to end 2023. One of my top albums. It was either a top album or at least an honorable mention for me for 2023. And I'm going to put that right up there in the B tier, above Sickology 101. Not quite, I don't know, maybe with time. It's been out less than a year. Nnutthowze siqnaling the siqly is fucking dope. I hope we get a full length from Nnutthowze. That would be dope. But maybe with more time, it'll move up to B, possibly into A. It's a solid EP from Tech and the Nnutthowze clique. And then his newest album, Cosm, Class of Strange Music. I haven't listened to it yet. It just came out a couple days ago. Yes, who knows when I release this video, but this album has only been out for a couple days, so I'm not going to rank it for that. But Class of Strange Music, is out. And that is the Tech9 tier list. I appreciate everybody that tuned in. Don't forget to like, subscribe, comment, hit that bell. Let me know in the comments again what you want to see me do for tier lists. And I appreciate y'all for tuning in. We out. Peace.